Okay, so what's up, y'all? So I got back on because I wanted to go over the last video where I was talking about this song "Party, Party, Party." Let's all get wasted because I didn't get any comments on it, but I got a couple of likes on it of what it was about. Now, if you haven't been looking at my previous videos, I know it can seem like I'm yammering, but I'm really not. I'm not yammering. Um, so to go over it, so in the song lyrics, it say "Party, party, party, let's all get wasted." Then on another part of the song, he say, "We don't get effed up no more, we get wasted." So also with another song, it was saying we was all stuck. That's why they call it "It's Your Trap." If you know about the songs and you know what I'm talking about, the songs was just playing on the radio. I was talking about the correlation of arts and different systems, and not just art alone, but just different systems and how they all affect us. Now, also with um, different individuals, when some individuals have God complexes, they feel as though they have a right to rule over people and say what's right and say what's wrong without checking their own self. So that's where I was going with that video, because we have had a whole bunch of different systems um, that were built up to serve and protect the people. That's why on a previous video I talked about that, how in different systems like the police system, they have an oath that they have to promise into to honor, serve, and protect. And so not violating the system or allowing the system to become violated. If it's for the people, it's with the best interest of its people. But not only that, these systems have to protect the people who help serve us as well too. That's why, like I don't know how many individuals have been actually watching my previous videos, but I talked about all of that. These different systems can be easily corrupt if they are unchecked. And when you say corrupt, in what ways? Well, is it based upon somebody cutting corners and just being lazy? Is it based upon someone just not checking up on another individual, or the things that they're doing based off of need for safety? Or like, for instance, now when you go for like military and stuff like that, it's certain criteria that you have to meet. Meaning, say for instance, if you have heart conditions, if you're asthmatic, chronic asthmatic, you cannot apply to these different positions. But not only that, these people see and hear and are forced into traumatic situations every day. Now, for them to be able to feel safe enough to go and indulge in getting therapy, you don't want to make it so hard for them to get therapy of, oh, well, this made me feel this type of way, and oh, now you're a problem. And so it's not really helping them get back stable minded from, because again, even though we've heard about war over and over again, war is not supposed to be a normal thing. Dead bodies everywhere is not supposed to be a normal thing. It's not supposed to be an okay thing, an average thing, but it has become there over and over again, even within all of these different systems. It's about time for the younger gen to speak, because I was considered a baby when a lot of these different systems, they were up and running very well before I was even out of diapers. But the effects of different things like, oh, well, you just still getting a lot of these laws together, because again, it wasn't too long ago, a lot of laws was passed for women to have proper rights, meaning, good rights for women to be able to have a voice or have say so over their bodies. And so again, it was a lot of hard work that went into those things, but now you can see where they're being challenged, let alone talking about the challenges that were still occurring in ways of people being manipulative or ways of people, you know, being lazy, and it's still affecting people, let alone talking about that type of stuff. I had correlated the video with art because I like doing my own thing artistically, because when you do different therapies, different things like sound therapy is a thing, vibrational therapy is a thing, color therapy is a thing, water therapy is a thing. So all of these different ways to help people, and people openly talking about how those things are becoming corrupt. And yes, you want to indulge in being able to voice how you feel when things are its worst. And these are the things that make life pleasurable, or happy, or it helps us to cope with the different traumas. But again, if y'all corrupt everything that is good for us to use to help people, even then it's going to make life a lot harder. Y'all just sitting by and letting all of these different systems become corrupt to where it's affecting the kids. Yeah, the kids done aged up now. They not the babies no more, but that's the same as like when you see somebody and y'all been having all of these different discussions on what type of wife you want, what type of family you want. Do you want longevity in your business, to your friendships? How you want these people to be taken care of, and all of this different stuff. It affects us negatively when you don't talk about it. So they're still taking effect in not the best ways, and everyone is collectively saying that they'll work out their differences. Now we have therapy. People are so scared that they ain't gonna use it because they don't want it to be misused against them as a weapon. You see different systems that have overthrown others because they did not work for the people. You have seen different points in life where individuals worked hard, better different systems. And so that is not to be taken lightly, and no one wants their efforts, their time, their energy to be wasted. That was the point of that last video. And a lot of individuals are forced and backed into a corner to where you have all this good mental capacity to create these different systems, but they get wasted on the negative because of somebody else's ego or somebody else's, power trip, or, all of those negative things. And then for the people who need to use it and indulge in it, they can't utilize it because you've misused it so much. Now no one wants to take a part in these different things. Even right directly on to the music. Everybody's going up under a different label, but to pit people against each other of all ethnicities, they do it all the time. And everything. So again, but it's just the divide and conquer, and no one's dumb. You set up something to look good and then trick them. Yeah, it's just the truth is, if it didn't look good or seem good or feel good or sound good, indulge. And it's deception at its best. And so again, they have affected genders. They have affected the new generation and everything that they could do when they could separate themselves from all the old chaotic stuff is reinserted them, and it's affected the newer from the older. It's affected people who are supposed to be family to each other. Everybody's either under some portion of miscommunication and confusion, or misguided and everything, to where they are trying to get right. Because again, who wants to live within these chaoses when again there is so much in life to enjoy? Even if you are the type that likes enjoying and indulging and fighting, there are healthy ways to do that that are not harmful to other people. It's a phrase that's said in America that is like, oh, well, certain things is common sense. You should know. One thing I always say, and this is in no way anything negative towards the Oriental community, but what is common sense to a Chinaman or woman? When their customs are different than yours, their language barrier is different than yours, just to say a simple sentence or to do a simple math equation would be something so simple, but when there are key factors that make it different for whatever reason, how are you going to tell them what common sense is? They don't automatically make it right, but it don't automatically make it wrong for that situation. So actually listening to different people in their different situations, and listening to them, are you really listening to fix the situation, or are you just listening to respond? Are you listening to be combative? Are you listening to find a new way to control? And are you doing all this every way that you try to say is something wrong with the next individual? Are you doing that own work on yourself as well while you're trying to have charge over everyone? When we know to be misunderstood is one thing, to be misrepresented is one thing, to be mistaught is one thing, and also to deliberately misunderstand is another thing. We're not dumb. Like, we know the difference between all of those different things. And it's sad, really, because it's no point of denying the crazy when you see it. It's no point of acting like you don't see what's going on or what needs to be corrected when it's sitting there staring at you directly in your dang on face, waiting to provoke you or waiting to hit you or hit people around you, people that you might find similarities in, that you might enjoy being around, but you can't indulge into that. Why? Because they've set up that entrapment. And then you keep getting messed over because again, you keep easing into, why is it that I have to do things in a negative manner to please you, tear into people, tear down into them, or to feed someone else's ego trip? In the world, I spoke about this in the previous video too, the world itself, when you talk about water, when you talk about grass, to the trees, these things are not naturally combative. They don't naturally get up and punch you in the gut. They don't start fights. It doesn't naturally start fights. So yes, in turn, in different ways, you're chipping at yourself. You're chipping at what you believe in, what you know and have done the work and have done the research, and you know to be correct. Even when individuals has gone as far as to fix their own personal problems, they can't indulge in, okay, well, let's gather up and start collecting and correcting, because y'all have indulged too much into making things turn into a negative for own selfish gain. That's where all the correlation of the song. It was party, party, party. Everybody wants to have fun, but no one wants to have consideration for a individual because their life looks different than yours until you can actually go and enjoy it and use it as a gimmick. No one, or people put all this effort to, actually help more than just their self, and that gets wasted. And then where people are saying this is messing us up, this is harming us. Why are you so addicted to making sure that they are entrapped or that they are harmed? Why can't, out of everything in this world that is good, that is non-threatening, that you can indulge in, why is it that? Now again, a defense. Everyone talks about defense. It's not something that's hidden. So again, we get defense, but you have a whole world. Then you have a whole galaxy, and then all the things in between. So again, for you to sit up there and act like, oh, well, we have to do this. It's going to be the end of the world if we don't. Something is seriously wrong with you, or it's something that you're not openly saying. It's something you're not openly saying. You're not telling the truth on what's really going on. Or you are stuck to where you can't. And again, if you stuck, why should I have to follow you? If you're confused, why should I have to follow you? If you're misguided, why should I have to follow you? Preservation of self. Oh, you're offended now because people want to preserve themselves. And see, this is why I mentioned the movie, because he was trying to do a good task, but the way in which he decided to do it, and he just automatically, based on one individual situation, in his own situation, you felt like you had the right to have control over so many people's lives, but you didn't put yourself in this little sick little twisted game that was supposed to be a help to everyone. But you still playing in people's faces. But then you get upset about when people are ready to go off and defend themselves. Excuse me, sir. If you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. It's a natural reaction. Or even just at the point of certain individuals have a need to talk it out. But again, you have torn down the ability of people being able to sit down, come together, and actually talk about the problem. No, because when you talk about it, you actually see, oh, well, dang, it wasn't the first thing I saw, it was a whole facade. It was a whole fake game set up in front of me, and now I realize it's something else bigger than what I thought it was, or more than what I thought it was. Because again, to make a thing look one way when it's really another is it's real. Like, for real, people